Alright, so today we're going to talk about solving equations using the distributive property. You've already started solving equations and you've used the distributive property, so this should really just be combining the two things. So today's notes are short. We're going to start, and you're going to make sure that you add today's date and the page number you're on. Make sure you're keeping up with this stuff. It'll be easier whenever you have notebook quizzes. Make sure that you're also adding this into your table of contents and that you take time to get the learning target down. Okay, on your notes you have these steps. If you would like to highlight them like I have them highlighted so that you can follow along, you may. If not, you don't have to. It's totally up to you. I just think it helps me keep my steps a little more organized. So when I'm looking through here for example 1, these are the questions that you should be asking yourself whenever you solve an equation. And the first question up here is, can I distribute? And I can. Here I'm going to distribute this -5 to everything inside the parentheses. Everything else that I didn't touch, I'm going to just bring down. So 126 won't be touched, and 4x won't be touched. So I can go ahead and I can multiply this, and I can bring down -5 times 3x is a -15x, and -5 times 10 is a -50. The next question you need to ask yourself is, can I combine like terms? And I do have like terms here and here. I'm going to write that in black so you can see it better. So I'm going to take my like terms and I'm going to combine those together on this side. When I combine those, 4x minus 15x, I get a -11x. And then I'm going to bring down this -50, or this -50 I didn't touch, and this 126. The next step is to make sure all of my variables are on the same side, and in this case they are. I only have one x, it's right here. So my final step will be to box my variable, which again is right here, and do inverse operations to isolate it, which means get it by itself. So I'm going to have to get rid of -50. So I'm going to add 50. And I'm going to do it to both sides. And when I do that, I get -11x is the only thing left over here. And then here I have 176. So now I have to get rid of -11. In order to do that, I'm going to have to divide it. So I need to divide both sides by -11. And when I do that, my answer is a -16. So that's your final answer, x equals -16. Example 2. Here's where you need to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down the middle to separate the two sides. And I'm looking on each side. Can't do anything over here, but I can distribute. And I'm distributing this negative, or this minus. And if it makes you feel better, you can put a -1 here and distribute a -1 to both of those things. So I'm going to bring down my 17 that I didn't touch, and my -16 I didn't touch. And I'm going to distribute. -1 times 6x is a -6x. -1 times 3 is a -3. So my next step says, can I combine like terms? 17 and -3 are like terms, which means I'm going to have this -6 over here that doesn't get touched. So I'm going to bring it down. And then I'm going to combine 17 and -3 to get a +14. And then this -16, again, I didn't touch. Then it asks me, move all your variables to the same side. Well, they all are on the same side because I only have one variable. It's right here. So I'm going to get that by itself, which means I need to move this +14. So I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides, because that'll get rid of it. It goes to 0. and here I get a negative 30. I need to get rid of negative 6, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 6. And x is equal to positive 5, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And that's your final answer. Make sure that you answer the question at the end. If for some reason the question doesn't pop up, just make sure that you actually give feedback, like you rate it with the smiley face, or write a comment after the fact and let me know that the question didn't pop up, so you still get your points.